Welcome back to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Mendte. The 11th district race, congressional race in North Jersey is getting national attention. The race includes Mikey Sherrill, the Democrat, and Jay Weber, the Republican. Donald Trump's got involved, the vice president's got involved, Cory Booker's been there. But there are other candidates. Someone who's not getting enough attention is Ryan Martinez, who is a Libertarian candidate for the 11th Congressional District. Thank you so much for coming in. One of the reasons you're here is because you called out all the media outlets that have not covered the race beyond Sherrill and Weber. And you sent out a tweet, including us, and including NJ.com and some others. Are we the only ones that responded?
You are the only ones that responded, yes.
It is one of the difficulties of running as a third-party candidate, isn't it?
It is. The third-party candidates just don't get the publicity that the Republicans and Democrats do. I received a nomination in March. I've been very active on social media. I've been trying to meet as many people as possible, but I've also reached out to, I can't even count how many newspapers or local television, and I've either been stonewalled, told they were uninterested. Some will tell me, well, you haven't raised enough money, you don't have enough Twitter followers, you don't have enough, you're not polling, even though the polls that they cite don't include third-party candidates. So I don't know how I'll ever be able to poll if they're not going to include me in the actual poll.
It is a catch-22, isn't it, in that you can't get in some of the debates. I know you didn't get in the
NJTV
one, but you didn't get in there because they said you didn't poll high enough, but you'd never been polled.
Correct.
So nobody, and they say you didn't raise enough money, but you can't raise money if you get no attention.
Correct.
And you can't get Twitter followers if you get no attention. So is the system rigged at this point so that it's always Democratic and Republican?
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not going to say yes it is or no it isn't.
Well, who sets the rules? People who set the rules would be Democrats and Republicans, right?
And they like that they have the two monopolies. They like the duopoly. They want to keep it just for them, and they seem to enjoy keeping any other voice out of it.
The only time they seem to work together is to keep out anybody else from the process.
They don't want to lose power, so yes.
So I'm not, look, do you think you have a chance of winning?
I think anyone that gets the signatures and then gets his name on the ballot has a chance. I think if you have a message, I think if it resonates with people, listen, without tooting my own horn, the fact that there's people who did see me in the debate, who have spoken to me, the majority of them walk away and go, I think you might be the better candidate. I mean, I had people at the debates wearing my opponent's shirts and holding their signs saying, I'm voting for you now.
You said you were at the debate. We just said you didn't make a debate. So you were in 2 of the 3 debates, but you weren't in the televised debate.
Correct. There were 3 debates. There was the Ogdensburg Historical Society debate. I was in that one. The Wayne League of Women Voters. I was involved in that one. I wasn't involved in the NJTV debate.
See, I don't think you have a chance of winning. I'll say that up front. I don't think you have a chance, but I think the odds are so stacked against you and all 30-party candidates that they don't even get the chance to have a chance. You know, it's so stacked against third-party candidates, and so the system is never open up to anybody else, unless, of course, you have the money, unless, of course, you're independently wealthy like a Ross Perot. And so that's why I thought it was so interesting and why I needed to have you on. So you have these 2 candidates that are getting all the publicity and getting all of the money. What are they not saying that you say?
To be quite honest, they're not saying anything. I mean, it's just general talking points. They're not really going on one side or the other. I mean, look, I haven't attacked any of them personally. I don't know them personally. Just as far as what they've said on, social media or what have you, I can't tell what they stand for. I can't tell what they're going to do. Mikey Sherrill, the Democrat, mostly is talking about the Gateway Project and universal background checks for guns. Jay Weber seems to be, pushing that the economy is doing better and that, he wants to keep the Republican Congress and what Trump and Pence are doing, but that seems to be the only 2 things I could definitely pinpoint them on. I don't know where they stand on anything else.
And so what do you stand for?
There's 3 major issues that I have right now. One is the national debt, $21 trillion in debt, and they say by the end of the next decade, it'll be about 32. We have to cut government spending. Everyone seems to acknowledge this, but then when you pinpoint them, they won't commit because they know that if they cut something, that's going to cost them votes. I think every department should have to come before Congress and justify what they're spending money on. Number 2 is immigration. Everyone knows that there's an immigration problem. For the last 30 years, we've been told that there's 11 million illegal immigrants. I find that funny that number never goes up, even though more and more people seem to be coming over the border. The Democrats had control of the presidency and the Congress, they did nothing. Now the Republicans have control, they're not doing anything. I don't think that they have a vested interest in doing anything because then they lose a talking point. My plan, I think it's very simple. If you're an illegal immigrant in this country, come forward. Apply for citizenship. We'll give you a temporary ID so there's no racism or preconceived notions about where they are, where they're coming from. Let's look at you. Have you taken government benefits? Have you committed any crimes? No? All right, let's put you on a pathway to citizenship at the end of the line. After that, though, comprehensive reform. You don't just walk in here and get citizenship.
And what about number 3? We're running out of time.
Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. When Social Security first came out in 1935, you collected at 65, but you only lived to 60. Now people live in their 80s. It wasn't meant to be a retirement plan.
So raise the age?
Raise the age, privatize it. There's a few things that you can do. But on the course that we're going right now, the numbers don't lie. The numbers show how in dire straits these programs are. And if they're not changed, there's options. And we're not going to be able to get through them all today. But keeping it at the status quo, it's going to bankrupt the system.
Yeah, well, it is wonderful. You're talking about a couple things that nobody's talking about. Everybody's talking about immigration, nobody's fixing it, but you are talking about bringing down spending and entitlement programs. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming in. Ryan Martinez is the Libertarian candidate in the 11th Congressional District, which is in North Jersey. We're coming back right after this. Still to come on Jersey Matters, we're going to check out all of the tight congressional races in districts around New Jersey when Jersey Matters continues.